Hi guys! Thanks so much for joining me here at Art Life today. My name's Mrs. B and I'm an art teacher. I aim to create some videos for you that you can do some art at home or in your classroom, wherever you might be. If you like my videos, please make sure that you subscribe and ring the bell so that you can get some notifications of my future videos. I've also got heaps of other past videos that you can check out by clicking on my profile picture. Today we're going to be using some watercolours to create a really fluid, fun, crazy kind of artwork. So stay tuned and I'll show you how. So with my past watercolour tasks, you might notice there's a fair few. They're generally fairly step-by-step and a little bit technical, but today I've tried to change it up a little bit and create something a little bit more free and exciting when using watercolours. I still show you how to do it, but today's artwork, as you can see, is a little bit more expressive and crazy. It's kind of an impression of what a bunch of flowers might look like. Impressionist artists love to create a bit of an idea of what an image is rather than getting it perfect. They use blobs and splots and dabs to create little marks like this. And if you look really close, it doesn't look like much. But if you step back, the artwork all comes together and the blobs kind of look like they mean something or they're trying to be something. This was really fun to create. I absolutely loved it. So stay tuned and I'll show you how. For this watercolor task, you'll need a few different things. Firstly, you'll obviously need a watercolor palette. Now, I have lots listed below in the description and you'll be able to get a 10% off discount with a code that I offer there from Zart, but you just need a simple array of colors and I'll be able to show you something really effective just using these 12 colors. You'll also need some watercolor paper if you have it. If you have normal paper, that's fine, but watercolor paper is definitely more forgiving because we'll be using a bit of water for this task. You'll also need some different brushes. I suggest two different sizes, sort of a medium one, but you will definitely need a really small one to help with the tiny little details we're going to be doing today. And some water. Set up your watercolor station and we can get started. All right, so this task is quite a messy, free sort of watercolor tutorial today, which is really exciting because a lot of watercolor videos I've done are a little bit more technical and step-by-step, and you'll notice that with the watercolor birds lesson that I've done, it is a little bit more follow the steps technical and blending and things like that, which is good to learn. But today, this is just to have a bit of fun and be a little bit more free with watercolors and for me to show you what they can do too. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get quite a lot of paint on my brush and I'm going to flick my paint downwards onto my watercolor paper here. I'm going to do that using my finger, and if I flick up, the paint goes down. So please do not flick this way because you'll end up with paint right on your face. So we're going to flick like this. I don't know if you can see that there, but I'm getting some red flicks onto my paper. They're quite small. I'll show you. Now we need to work fairly quickly with this step. I'm going to use a different variety of colors. Doesn't matter what colors you choose to use. You need a fair bit of paint. You can probably see that a little bit more. Alternatively, if you don't want to flick, you can sort of tap the paint down with another brush if you prefer not to use your finger. So just using a few different colors to start off with, maybe 3. Now we do want to work with this while the paint is wet. I'll show you why. What I need to do now is just add some plain water to some of my spots here. You'll notice that the paint sort of spreads a bit and you're just kind of accentuating some of the spots. Not all of them, just a few, so that the colors blend out a little bit bigger. Kind of creating the illusion of some flowers, but you don't need to make them look like flowers yet, don't worry. If you let the paint dry, nothing will happen when you add water. So this part of the task you can really work quite quickly. Adding a bit of water, plain water. Made a mistake over there, that's okay. We'll turn that into a masterpiece, there we go. All right, not too many. It's okay for this part of the task to be fairly watery. Just adding plain water. You might need to keep flicking a little bit. Just adding water randomly. Little spots, that's it. Spot, spot, it's a bit of fun. Don't overthink it, we're just doing spots right now. So I've just repeated this process with a new colour. I was finding that my splashes with my flicking were just a little bit too small, so I've just used the paintbrush technique of sort of tapping like this, and that's meant that the spots are just that little bit bigger, as you can see, which is easier to sort of make those little flower spots there. So you can see I've sort of done the main section here in the middle and got a few sort of coming out toward the outer bits of my paper as well. It's just meant to be sort of a messy bunch of blossoms here. Try not to do too many so that the colours sort of, you know, the water mixes together too much, but what we can do now is, and I suggest doing this with sort of like a yellow or some sort of bright colour, is just adding in some little spots again. I'm just tapping. And the colour is sort of mixing, tap, tap, tap. You want to keep these taps separate because we want to make them sort of suggest individual flowers. You don't want to just bunch it all in the one section like this. You want to spread it out a little so that you can see the little spots. Please just have fun with this. There's no real right or wrong way. I'm just sort of showing you some strategies. So spot, 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 pretty much is all we're doing right now. All right, looking good so far, guys. We're just going to let this layer dry completely, and then we're going to do another layer over the top once it's dry. For this next part of the task, you're going to need a really small brush. I'm talking the smaller, the better. We want to add some details that suggest sort of leaves or strands of wildflower stems that are coming out. So these are our flowers. Now we need to do the stems. Now, stems are normally sort of a green, but I don't really want an overly bright green. So I'm going to take some time now just to mix a bit of brown with my green. That just creates a bit more of a naturally olive color. That will mean that the stems kind of blend in rather than stand out too much. So this part, we're just doing some strokes as thin as you can. These are thicker than I was hoping. And imagine them sort of coming out if you were holding the bunch in the middle here and they're sort of spreading outwards. So it's important not to do them in any which direction. We kind of want them to come out ways like this, different lengths. As thin as you can, some short, some long. Again, it's meant to be sort of a messy, fun exploration. So don't overthink it too much, just really have fun with it. You can make some quite watery as well if you want. Now, on top of these stems, we're just going to add some suggestions of leaves. I'm going to do that just by kind of dabbing on top. It's sort of an impressionistic kind of design, so please do not, take your time doing perfect leaves like this. It's not really the style we're going for today, and it's funner, it's quicker, it kind of will all come together, I promise. An Impressionist artwork is one where it might just look like blobs if you were to look up really, really, really close. But once you step back and sort of take in the whole artwork as a whole, it kind of comes together as an impression or an idea of what you're trying to create, not a perfect replica. My favourite artist, Claude Monet, was an Impressionist artist. He used to do a lot of flowers in his garden as well, but he would use acrylics and oils rather than watercolours. Little spots down the stems, all the way down. Lots of dabbing today, dab dab. Hope you're enjoying it, I am. Cool. All right, so we did one layer of sort of spongy flowers, then we've done the layer of Impressionist kind of leaves and stems coming out. Now we're going to do one more layer of flowers over the top. So when we do that this time, we do want our flowers to be a little bit brighter and bolder, but we do want to keep that kind of dabbing Impressionist kind of blobby style. Now, it's probably important to let this dry a little bit. You don't have to, but because we've got a lot of greens and browns here, if we bring in some colors like purples and reds, they might mix and just make the artwork really messy in not a good way. So I'll just leave this for a couple of minutes and then I'll come back and do the last layer. Let's start our third layer. Now it's important to choose a few different colors that you think might really stand out from the colors you've chosen already. I might do red, orange, maybe a bit of purple. I don't have any purple in there yet. So what you're going to do with these colors is dab, again, more dabbing. And we want the colors to be nice and bright at this point. I'm sort of creating sections of color. So my red is staying all together. Now I'm going to add a bit more water to these to spread them out a bit. Keeping in that dabbing motion. This middle section of mine is kind of blending too much. All the colors are kind of mixing together in a way I don't want them to do that. So I need to let that part dry before I add any more watercolor, just so the colors don't get too confused and we don't end up with a big brown mess. So paint and then just water. Spread it out a bit. So we're suggesting flowers and trying to keep that spotty motion going as best you can. Now, while this is wet, what we're going to do is add a bit of black to the inside of the flowers. Can you see that there? So they're just spots essentially, and it makes it look like the inside of the flowers. It's adding a bit of detail. We're doing it while it's wet so the paint sort of spreads. And it's giving the idea of more individual flowers. I'm not sort of thinking too much where I'm putting the black spot. I'm sort of just wanting to give an idea that there are some flowers there. This middle section has sort of pooled colors, so there's too much water there. I'm just going to soak up some of the water using a tissue really carefully, dabbing that tissue on just to collect some of that excess water. Adding a little spots now with sort of yellows and greens just to add a little bit more detail. You don't want to overdo it. You want it to sort of look like a bunch of flowers, so knowing when to stop is important. And that might be about now for me. There it is. Wildflower, messy, impressionist artwork using watercolours. Hope you've had fun today. So it's as simple as that. I hope you found it fun. I hope you found it freeing and a bit exciting to create this artwork and realized that you don't need to do something perfect, especially when using watercolors. Please make sure that you like this video if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe to my channel because I'll post heaps of other videos for you to enjoy in the future. Thanks so much for supporting Art Life and checking out this video today. I'm Mrs. B, and I'll see you later.